Welcome everyone back to Newsroom. I'm Chella Smith. This is your Middle East U.S. entertainment news here on YouTube. I air on Fridays. I bring you the latest on reforms and economics of Iraq based on reports put out by the Middle East news media outlets. I do this weekly review and it's based off my interest. Thank you everyone for joining me. Last week we spoke about the media misleading and its importance of factual data. More U.S. sanctions and Kamala was on the scene. Let's take a look at this week's headlines. Soudani reports the BG's Refinery returns to serve as a personal witness to the Iraqi people's will. Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Soudani confirms that the North Refinery in BG will return to serve as a personal witness to the will of the Iraqi people. He praises the martyrs and wounded who defended the refinery from ISIS gangs. The refinery was visited in May of 2023 and recovered equipment and machinery. The government is close to securing the country's full needs of derivatives by mid-next year, saving billions of dollars and monitoring other services and economic aspects. The government has prioritized the oil and gas sector, implementing projects to end gas burning within 3 to 5 years. Investment projects are planned for both inside and outside of Iraq, focusing on petrochemicals and transformation of industries. Next on the list, the governor of the Central Bank of Iraq has identified the key characteristics of e-contractions as a critical link. The Iraqi Central Bank Governor Ali Al-Awlaq has emphasized the importance of electronic levies as a key link to improving the country's banking financial sector. He emphasizes the central bank's commitment to support the projects which aim to enhance government resources, collections of secure, transparent environments. The project targets all government ministries, non-governmental organizations, unions, and associations, automating collection processes and reduce cash transactions. It also allows customers to choose the preferred payment time and place, saving time and effort. The central bank is committed to supporting the growth and the use of local economies while maintaining stability through cooperation and meaningful challenges. And the central bank denies any liquidity issues with the Iraqi dinar. The Iraqi Central Bank Governor, Ali Al-Awlaq, has denied rumors of liquidity issues with the Iraqi dinar and announced the imminent launch of new mechanisms for travelers to obtain the dollar. He stated that the central bank is working on a system for travelers to receive the dollar smoothly at the Iraqi airports, with some exchange companies and banks already distributing the currency. The new mechanism will be implemented soon, allowing travelers to register through a platform and receive the dollars at the airport, ensuring the dollars reach the actual traveler. 8 Iraqi banks have been banned from transactions in U.S. dollars. The U.S. Treasury Department has sanctioned Iraq's Al-Huda Bank and its chairman, Hamid al-Mousawi, for serving as a conduit for terrorist financing and money laundering, as per the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network report, FinCEN, which also proposed imposing sanctions. And Iraq came back urging the U.S. to reconsider those sanctions on Iraqi banks. On February 6, 2024, the Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Fahad Hassan and U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken discussed the U.S. attacks on Iraqi security forces in the Aqsam and Al-Qaim regions. Hassan emphasizes the Iraqi government's rejection of these attacks and the need for dialogue and negotiations. He also discussed the U.S. sanctions on 7 Iraqi banks, which are critical for financing ration cards, expenses, and providing food baskets for the Iraqi families. He calls for a reconsideration of the U.S. Treasury's decision and emphasizes Iraq's desire to build partnerships and cooperate with friendly countries to address economic and security challenges. Iraq is experiencing a significant increase in port traffic. The Director General of the Company for Iraqi Ports, the GCIP, reported that commercial and oil port revenues in January exceeded 74.5 billion Iraqi dinars, a significant increase from the previous year. Ports like Qasr North and Khor al-Zubair, Qasr South, and Abu Ful ports generated revenues of over 31 billion and 6.2 billion, respectively. Port service revenues at oil ports reached 22 billion. The number of imported and exported containers at Iraqi ports reached 71,500 and also 74,700. The increase in revenue aligns with plans to rehabilitate infrastructure and implement new projects in most ports, boosting performance and revenues. And foreign companies are being hired to manage Iraqi hospitals. Turkish company wins contracts to manage Maison Hospital in Iraq, with 3 additional companies to be contracted for other hospitals across the country. Iraq's Ministry of Health has already contracted Italian company Gruppo Ospedalerio San Donato for Najaf Teaching Hospital. And smartphone markets in Iraq has expected to double in size. The smartphone market in Iraq has grown by 86% on the year in Q4 2023. Despite local bank restrictions on US dollar withdrawals, vendors like Transsion and Xiaomi are targeting younger customers with appealing designs, advanced technology, and affordable prices, despite the parallel market exchange rate increases. And many companies around the world are very interested in Iraq, like the Iraqi Algitek, CMTE, has pledged to enhance Iraq's agriculture. The Iraqi Britain Business Council, the IBBC, has launched a new initiative to improve agriculture in Iraq. The Algitek Committee, chaired by Dr. Amit Salman, aims to improve agriculture practice across the country. The committee will work with the Prime Minister of Iraq to bring Algitek to the sector and to work with farmers. The committee will set up a pilot study to identify existing soil conditions and organize communication channels with farmers. The goal is to teach Iraqi farmers how to use right fertilizer for each type of soil and crop. The initiative has attracted interest from expats, Iraqis, agricultural experts, and investors, creating an opportunity for Iraqi diaspora to re-engage with the country and contribute to its prosperity. And lastly, according to the IBN, a journalist had reported that the Iraqi oil tanker company, the IOTC, and an affiliate of the Ministry of Oil, the MOO, had a contract with the Norwegian Bat Service in 2020 to build 2 tankers for petroleum products. However, the contracts were implemented after a delay, and it's become clear that the Norwegian company was merely a commercial intermediary. The first tanker arrived in September, but the Norwegian company remains the beneficial owner even after the first tanker arrived in December. The Ministry of Oil and the IOTC kept the details of the contracts in secrecy, and the author of this actual article is now following up on the implementation of the contract, posing questions about the legality and the legitimacy. The author calls for an investigation into the vitality of the contract, particularly regarding the broker based and the rights of the beneficial owner, even though the tankers are anchored within the Iraqi sovereign border. And you've been watching Newsroom Weekly Review. I'm Chella Smith with your Middle East, the U.S. entertainment news on reforms and economics of Iraq. I bring you the latest Dinar news without having to keep up with all the different outlets. I'm here on YouTube every Friday, so don't forget to subscribe and turn those notification bells on. If you like my content, you can give me a thumbs up. If you really like my content, you can always seed a super chat or a super thanks in the comment section below. Again, thank you for being a subscriber. Thank you for visiting Newsroom Chella Smith for your trusted Dinar news. It's been a kind of a boring week here in the studio. There's a lot of things going on with the negotiations of the United States and Iraq in regards to the U.S. coalition. Well, I didn't get into a whole lot of that. Next week, we'll try to keep up on what's actually going on there. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you guys next week. Take care. Make sure you join us Fridays, 4 p.m. with Newsroom Updates with Chella Smith, Entertainment